as you already know, we can also use generative AI and large language models to produce translations. This happens when you prompt a system like ChatGPT to translate a specific text into the language you want. At present, ChatGPT systems perform slightly worse than machine translation systems, such as Google's, because the language models they are trained on do not clearly distinguish between languages and are not specifically trained on translation patterns. However, one clear advantage of ChatGPT over systems like Google Translate is that you can use ChatGPT to further correct and refine your text. You can ask ChatGPT to make the translation more formal or concise, or even ask why it used certain words, especially if you suspect a mistranslation. But it is important to keep in mind that, like machine translation systems, generative AI and large language models do not think, understand, or have access to real-life knowledge. They simply calculate the most probable next word in a sentence based on their training data and your input. While you cannot influence the training data, you can control the input. For this, you can either create a translation-friendly text for submission, using tips from our earlier video, or craft an efficient and clear prompt. In this video, we will share 5 examples of prompting techniques you might find useful. Are you ready for technique number 1? In your prompt, before you ask ChatGPT to translate a specific text, try giving it a specific role or responsibility. For example, something like this. Such details provide context for responses and can help tailor the style of the generated translation accordingly. Let's move on to a second prompting technique. Even if you don't know the language you are translating into, you can guide ChatGPT to walk you through its translation choices. For example, your prompt might look like this. This type of prompt provides insights into the assumptions and interim steps ChatGPT uses during translation. If an error occurs in part of the reasoning, you can prompt ChatGPT to correct it. Ready for technique number 3? Ask ChatGPT to pose questions before it translates. Like this. This type of prompt is particularly useful for translation tasks that involve brainstorming and organizing narratives. Now, let's explore our 4th prompting technique, designed to ensure consistent translations across multiple languages. To maintain a uniform style, use a prompt with placeholders, as demonstrated in this example. For each translation, replace the placeholders with the relevant details. This approach helps ChatGPT generate responses that meet your specific requirements while minimizing unnecessary variations across different language versions. Finally, our last prompting technique. It involves providing an example of a translated text as part of the prompt, like this. The aim is to guide ChatGPT in generating responses that match a specific structure or style. This technique is particularly helpful when you want your translation to follow complex or unconventional formats. This video has offered tips to help prompt systems like ChatGPT to generate translations that better meet your expectations. Just remember, like machine translation tools, ChatGPT doesn't think or truly understand your text. It predicts and generates translations based on its training data and the input prompt you provide. So think carefully about what you're asking it to do and critically evaluate the translation you receive. No matter how advanced the machine becomes, if you don't use it thoughtfully, you're likely to encounter problems. For more guidance on this topic, please visit our website.